I recently moved into a new shop that has some excellent storage. As you can see, I have a loft that's about 10 feet off the ground and spans most of the shop. The downside is there's no stairs or any way to get objects from up and down, so I usually just end up throwing it and causing a bunch of violence.
Ah, jeez.
Rather than breaking everything I own by throwing it into the loft, I devised a plan to build a hoist on a rolling track so that I could lift objects from the ground floor and lower them safely onto the loft. This is how we did it.
So to be able to make this work, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need some track, we're going to need the trolleys, and then of course we're going to need the hoist. I got on Amazon and I found 6 of these 5-foot lengths Unistrut. These were about $185 for the 6 of them, and they're rated for 1,600 pounds. I found these trolley rollers. There's 2 of them that came in the set. They were $30, rated at 2,600 pounds. And of course the winch, which is rated at about 1,200 pounds. So the idea is we're gonna take this track, all 5 or 6 of them, and we're gonna mount them up there to these supports, and it'll run all the way from the front to the back of the shop.
I snapped the chalk line from center of center from the front to the back of the garage and then pre-drilled my holes. You can see in this shot that the center of each of the A-frames was not exactly on, but it'll do the job. Using a lag bolt, I then attached the track hangers to the A-frame. Once I had a few hangers installed, I was then able to start sliding the track into the hangers. Before going any further, I made sure to install the trolleys in the track, because knowing me, I'll get all the way to the end of the shop, forget to put the trolleys in, and have to take everything apart. I also put this bolt in to keep the trolley from falling off the back of the track. At this point, we were down to just putting hangers up and then installing the track. Once we had a couple sections of track put in, we couldn't help but install the hoist. I mean, this is kind of the main event. After the hoist was installed, we started installing our track to the south end of the shop. However, the roof of my shop is extremely high and it got to a point where it was really no longer safe to be hanging these on a ladder. So we decided to pull out the big guns.
Fuck ladders.
Let's be honest, this was less about safety and more about me having an excuse to play with a scissor lift. With that being said, it was way easier to hang this track, and it was super nice having it to be able to move the rest of the stuff into my shop. I mean, look at how much easier it was to hang this 5-light stoplight and all this other junk I had laying around. This thing was awesome. This lift makes it super easy to move heavy items up and down from the loft. I don't plan on using this for any heavy-duty applications, like removing a big engine from a truck or something like that, but it is able to lift some pretty heavy items. I mean, I used it to unload this big load of steel from my trailer. It's not a ton of weight, but if I had to guess, it was a few hundred pounds, so it was definitely easier to use the lift rather than moving each individual piece on its own.
Well, I guess that's a wrap on this video. Check back later for some other cool builds. We're gonna be building some steel tables, we're gonna be building some stairs so that I can actually get up here without using the lift. We're gonna be doing some 3D printing, some model railroading, some RC planes, all kinds of cool stuff. So if you like it, come check back later, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for making it to the end of the video. If you want to build something like this, check the links in the description for all the parts and where to buy them.